All right, let's talk about what's happening in the South Bay real estate market because it is on fire. We're going to dive into a story that's all about incredible speed, massive opportunity, and honestly, a fundamental shift in how the entire game is being played. Let's get right into it. So, what's the big story defining the South Bay right now? Well, people are calling it the Great Unpause. The market isn't just waking up, it feels like it's sprinting out of the gate. So what does this unpause actually look and feel like on the ground? Get this, 16 days. That's it. That's the average time a property is even on the market in places like North Redondo and Holly Glen. Now, a lot of this crazy speed is being driven by professionals from the local tech scene, places like SpaceX. This isn't just the market getting back to normal. This is a full-on flash flood of activity.
And hey, this confidence isn't just in people buying houses. Just look at the commercial space. You've got Molina Healthcare signing a massive 100,000 square foot lease in San Pedro. That is a huge vote of confidence in the area's economic future. Big businesses are betting big on the South Bay.
So you've got this incredible commercial confidence, a residential market that's just surging. It paints a picture of massive opportunity, right? You think every single real estate professional would be absolutely thriving. But here's the twist, the paradox. The industry is at a tipping point, and the old ways of doing business, they're becoming obsolete fast. And that leads us to the million-dollar question for every single broker out there. In a market this hot, when inventory is this tight and demand is through the roof, how on earth do you stand out from the crowd? It really boils down to two completely different playbooks. On one side, you've got the old way. You know the drill, smile and dial, basically begging for leads, feeling pretty low status, and frankly, invisible. Then there's the new way. This is about broadcasting your value, attracting clients, being seen as the prize, having high status, and becoming a real authority. It's a total flip of the script. And look, this isn't just some abstract idea. As Edwin Jutari and Jennifer Wolf point out here, the brokers who are still clinging to those old school tactics, the cold calls, the endless postcards, they're just fading away. In a market moving this fast, being invisible is a death sentence. The pressure to adapt is real. So what's the solution? Well, it's not about making more calls or sending more mail. It's about a complete identity shift. This is where the CRE Authority Blueprint comes in. It suggests a whole new way of thinking. Stop operating like a salesperson and start operating like a media company. Okay, so what does that even mean to operate like a media company? Well, think of it as a strategic pivot. Instead of spending all your energy chasing down individual leads one by one, you start broadcasting high-value insights out to the world. You attract an entire audience of your ideal clients who already see you as the go-to expert. So how do you actually do this? The blueprint breaks it down into 3 clear phases. First, there's the mindset shift. Then you build your deal engine. And finally, you focus on the empire build. Let's dig into that second part, the deal engine. All right, this is where we get into the nuts and bolts. The new deal engine is all about the actual tactics you can use to turn your market knowledge and your insights into a consistent, reliable stream of income from high-value clients. And it all hinges on this one super powerful idea. In today's world, information is everywhere. It's basically free. Anyone can look up property data online. What investors are desperate for, and what they'll pay top dollar for, is insight. Your analysis of what all that data actually means for them and their money. So how do you broadcast that insight? Well, tactic number 1, you've got to make math sexy. Seriously, this is exactly where a service like Voxel Micro Video Labs comes into play. They help you take a boring, dry spreadsheet full of cap rates and financial analysis and turn it into compelling must-watch content for investors. You're not just another agent emailing a PDF. You're the expert on their screen explaining why a deal is a home run. Tactic number 2 is all about catching the white whale, the most motivated clients. Think about an investor in a 1031 exchange. They are in a panic. They have a 45-day ticking clock to reinvest a huge chunk of money or face a massive tax bill. If you create life raft video content that directly solves their urgent, painful problem, you don't just become an option, you become their savior. But look, this whole strategy is about so much more than just winning the next deal. The third phase of this blueprint, the empire build, is all about the long-term vision. It's about building a sustainable business that has real value way beyond your next commission check. And the payoff for this approach? It's huge. When you operate like a media authority, you start attracting the best talent, people who want to build their own brand under yours. You can stabilize your income with retainers instead of just relying on commissions, and you start to build a brokerage with real actual equity value. You're creating a sellable brand, not just a list of past clients. And that brings us to the ultimate end game here, your exit strategy. Because let's be honest, you can't sell a Rolodex full of contacts, but you absolutely can sell a brand. You're creating a real asset, something that has value even when you're not there. So as we wrap this up, it really all comes down to this one question. The South Bay market is absolutely surging. The opportunity is undeniable. The only question left is, in a couple of years, are you going to be the one still making all the calls? Or are you going to be the one that everyone is calling? The choice is yours.